This is the Note Closer Show, where you get the latest developments in distressed note investing and learn the secrets of how you can control millions of dollars worth of property for pennies on the dollar. Get educated and entertained by someone who has closed thousands of deals and lives to support you in achieving the same. Now, here's your host, CEO of We Close Notes, Scott Carson.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson, excited to be here with you today. It is a beautiful day here in Austin, Texas. I know that it's been a little while since we've done a podcast episode. We've been obviously kind of busy with some stuff. We had our 7th time for hosting Note Camp. Note Camp 2021 was a big success with almost 700 attendees, signups for it. Lots of great speakers. Big shout out to all our speakers who were a part of that. One of the great things that we are very proud of is just the growth of that event and still doing it 7 years later after we started it. So for those that were a part of that, hey, great. Thank you again for any time you've been a part, whether it was the first one or all of them or a variety of them. We're glad to have you. And then we look forward to the next one. Yes, Note Camp 22 is a year away as well. So you can always get that by going to notecamp.live or check out, if you want to buy the replays today, you can always go to notecampreplays.com to buy the replays of the most recent one and to get a ticket to next year's event as a special promo. But one of the things I wanted to talk with you guys about is I know that so many investors out there are kind of struggling. We got so many landlords, people that have property or real estate or even notes who are having a hard time collecting rent or collecting payments, or their foreclosures or evictions that they're working towards have been kicked down the road by the government. And you are not alone, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. There are millions of investors out there that are also facing and having issues, and they've got to do something. If they're going to continue to give people free rent or allow them to stay for free without having to they have to do something for us investors. So I'm keeping an eye on the lawsuit that's been filed in federal court by landlords across the country in opposition to the extended foreclosure and eviction delays. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about with you guys, it's hard to believe too that the NCS podcast, the Note Closer Show, is coming up on its 4-year anniversary here in a couple of weeks. And I thought, what's a better way to celebrate a 4-year anniversary than start kind of doing what we started doing when we started doing the podcast. Keep on keeping on, I guess you could say. And I'm going to be the first one to admit here, I've had a little bit of pod fade over the last few months. Steph and I have done a great job working at home, going through everything the last 18 months with COVID and everything else that's out there and done well. I think a lot of people, a lot of investors, couples alone have struggled with, hey, now you're both together in home with the kids in a lot of cases, and they're not used to that. Well, luckily we get along most of the time, better than most spouses or most partners out there. And so, we've done well, but there have been days, I think like many people, it's hard not to get down with everything going on in the crazy world of COVID and whether you got to get vaccinated or not and what your opinion is, and how you can alienate friends and family who don't agree with it. It is what it is. You're entitled to your opinion and your own thought. And I believe it's my body, whether I want to stick something in me or I don't, it's my decision. And whether you're right or wrong, you're right. It's the way I look at it. What your decision is. It's your own opinion, stuff like that. But they can also be very stressful. I think we all agree the media has really led to a lot of that stress taking place. There's nothing positive on it. It often seems like it's trying to be shoved down our throat in a lot of facets. I don't believe the numbers that they're putting out and things like that. And I just don't trust the media. And I think many people side with me on that as entrepreneurs out there. You really are only in control of what you can do on a day in out, day out basis. So many people have stopped watching the news. God knows that I have. I'll watch or read a little bit about 30 minutes a day. Then I want to get out of that negative programming and focus on what I can do for my business, for my family, and for my future self. And I encourage you all to do that. And so I wanted, as I get off my, my tree stump here, I want to go back and kind of start off at the basics. Now, this last Monday night on Note Night in America, we talked about step-by-step success. And I have to give a big shout out to Erin, one of the students on it, who was volunteered to come on and share her insights and allow me to spend a little time kind of coaching her a little bit. And the thing you have to realize, that's not always an easy thing. And I love what Erin shared, how she is, like many people, jumping on and doing side hustles. She's driving for Uber 2 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoons, making ends meet. She lives in an expensive area, San Diego, but she, like many investors, are struggling. And we see this happen over and over and over again for people. And it was obvious at Note Camp on the survey results when I asked people, hey, how often are you marketing? How often are you emailing to your database? Is it once a day, once a week, once a month, or never? Or what's marketing? And overwhelming response was what's marketing, or that they're not marketing at all. And that's where most people get confused by, is the overwhelming message. And they see video, they see LinkedIn, they see Twitter, they see Facebook, they see TikTok, they see Instagram. And it can be damn confusing. Do I need to do video? Do I need to do podcasts? What do I do? What do I need to do? And here's what I want to tell you. Take a deep breath. First and foremost, it can seem overwhelming, but one of the biggest things I want to tell you all to do is, if you're a new investor or struggling investor, the best thing you can do is take a deep breath and just breathe for a second. Okay? My big thing about marketing is you can't eat the whole elephant at once. All right. How do you eat an elephant? You start one bite at a time, and you do it not on the ass end first of that elephant. Okay. You have to start somewhere, and little things will help you along the way. But the first thing you have to look at is your schedule, because the most successful entrepreneurs, whether it's people that are watching this video live, they're watching the replay, they're listening to the podcast, reading the blog, everything that we do, all that stuff has its own time frame and delegation of how it works. I'm not doing all that stuff when I market. There are simple things that I do. And when I was starting off as a new entrepreneur, still working my full-time job, what did I do to start off with? And that's where I want to go with each and every one on here who's brand new to real estate, brand new to note investing. What are the things you can do? And what are the step-by-step things that will help you find success? And the first thing, like we said before, a few seconds ago anyway, was look at your schedule. What do you have available to you? If you're working 70, 80 hours a week, you only may have 5 or 10 hours a week to market. If you're working 40 and you're clocking in at 8 o'clock and clocking out at 5 o'clock, and you're glad to get the hell out of Dodge, you're going to have some more time. The beauty is there are things that everybody can do around their schedule to be successful as a real estate, or what we prefer, note investor. All right. So the first thing you do, take your schedule, time block it out, put it in 30-minute increments. If you're waking up at 7 a.m., put from 7 a.m. to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk, obviously Gary V likes to talk about everybody has from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Yes, you do. If you are working a lot and don't have time during the day between 7 and 7, then you definitely need to flip to the other side. And we'll talk about some of the things. But the first thing is take that schedule. An Excel spreadsheet is easy. A dry erase board or a piece of paper, flip it over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday across the top, and then from 7 a.m. down to 7 p.m. in 30-minute increments on the left side, okay? And start blocking out things. If you take your kids to school every day at 8 to 8:30, block that out. If you're riding the bus to your job from 7 to 8 o'clock, block it out, all right? If you've got to be at your job from 9 to 5, block that out. Now, if you have an hour break for lunch, leave that open, but block out the 9 to 12 and the 1 to 5. Go ahead and block that out Monday through Friday. You can't do much there because you're on the job. You got to bring home the bacon. I get it. Block that. But that still leaves you times before you got to head to work. Middle of the day, you may have 15 to 20 minutes to get a little bit of stuff done. And then, of course, after hours or your commute home or in the evening. Now, let's just assume that you have the 9 to 5. Okay. And I know they say assume, you make an asset out of you and me both, but you guys will get the hint of what we do. There are things that we all can do. Now, the number one spot that you should be spending time with everybody doing, this is no matter what type of real estate or entrepreneurship, I believe, is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the hottest social media platform. It's been like that for a while. It's also the way, it's one way to really connect with your ideal audience, your ideal avatar of investors, buyers, sellers of real estate, whatever it might be. I believe that's the major focus. Now, if you're into gaming or something like that, maybe not the best spot. You would rather be on Twitch or something like that, or Facebook. But for what we're doing in real estate, you can literally go to LinkedIn in a matter of a few seconds, type in real estate investors and find thousands of people to connect with. Note investors, find thousands of people to connect with. IRA investor or private investors, find a ton of people to connect with on there. We use LinkedIn for those purposes, to find self-directed IRA investors, to find note investors, to find specific investors in a specific state. Note investor Georgia, note investor Texas, note investor Austin, if you want to micro that search down. So one of the great things is going on LinkedIn and making sure, first and foremost, you have a complete profile. That means a good smiling face, not your logo, not your entity name, your smiling face. And for those of you that already have a LinkedIn profile, but it's for work, or you're afraid people from your job may see what you have in marketing, Michael, here's the thing I always ask you, and I did this last night. I'm like, does your job or your career where you're working at, do they offer you a retirement plan, a future? And the answer overwhelmingly a lot of times is like, no. Well, they don't. Okay. Go start posting on there. Put yourself as a real estate investor. I don't care if you put back to when you bought your first house. So Scott, I don't do fix and flips. Yeah, but most people's biggest investment is going to be their primary residence. So go put that when you started learning about real estate investing or you bought your first house, put that as an investor from that time forward. Okay. You don't have to eliminate that you work in pharmacy or that you're in publishing or whatever your main hustle will be. What you want to do is put, hey, I'm a real estate investor, a blip in there, something about investing, you smiling face. Okay. Now, if you're afraid of your boss seeing it and firing it, then you may want to go block his ass or her ass off there so they can see you. Okay. But don't go create 2 LinkedIn accounts. It's not going to work for you. Just make sure you update your profiles. There's something about investing, a current photo, and put a little blog on there. Hey, if your boss says, hey, I saw that you're posting something, are you leaving me? No, that's my LLC for my side hobby. I like to buy rentals or fix and flips or stuff like that. That's my side hustle LLC. That's why I put it down there. They should not have an issue with it. In some cases, you might have to do an OBA, sign an OBA form, which is an outside business arrangement. When I was in banking, anytime I would do anything side hustle, and you have to do that if you're some, multi-level marketing or fix and flipping or anything, do an OBA so that it doesn't conflict with your work schedule. And we're not telling you to do this during your work schedule. Okay. But LinkedIn is the number one spot. Now, why LinkedIn? Because A, you can go on at night, you get home, or you're sitting in traffic, or you're on the bus to and from your work, or you're, taking that extended bathroom break 12 times during the day. With your phone, you can literally go on LinkedIn and start connecting with the right connections. And what we do is we use LinkedIn, like I said, to find investors, but we use it to also to find note deals. And that's why we're looking for special asset managers, secondary marketing managers, chief credit risk officers, or whole loan traders. Those are 4 searches that we do on LinkedIn. And we start sending invites to those people. You have less than 300 characters. If you want to know what to say, then you should probably take one of our classes where we show you exactly, and you can copy paste word for word what we put in there to attract asset managers. Now, you may be be able to send out 50 to 100 invites at a time. It depends on how many connections and how big a profile you already have on LinkedIn. If you're a brand new account, you may limit it to 100 a week. And others, if you've got a bigger, they may allow you to do up to 100 invites at a day. Okay. Now, that's a lot of work copy pasting individually. I highly recommend, if you've got a little bit of extra funds, $22 a month to sign up for Octopus CRM. Now, this is a LinkedIn specific Chrome plugin that works with LinkedIn exclusively. You can it allows for you to import 1,000 profiles. If I type in note investor, it'll pull up, 12, 15,000 people. It'll allow for me to pull over 1,000 from LinkedIn into the Octopus CRM module. And then it connects it where I can send invites out to connect with people up to 100 a day with my profile. Something like I said, maybe less than 20. It also allows for you to send follow-up emails to those that have accepted your connection. It's a great way to automatically get connections, because literally I wake up in the morning when I sit down at my laptop, I go to LinkedIn, I go to Octopus, boom, I send out another 100 invites per day. And that in the last couple of years helped me grow from 6,000 to just over 26,000 connections. And that's helped us raise capital, build a database, getting people to opt in for the podcast, send them a copy of my book, all sorts of great stuff there. But that is putting in a little bit per day. As any type of thing, any type of business tell you, they're constantly looking for you to prospect. And that is a prospecting tool that takes less than 5 minutes a day, whether you wake up before you go to the work, whether you do it at your lunch break or you do it in the evenings. Just get in a habit. That should be one thing that you pencil in across your schedule. It's a little bit of marketing, okay? Doesn't take you to anything. Just have your updated LinkedIn profile, and something that's saying less than 300 characters. Hey, I'm looking to connect with other note investors or looking to connect with other real estate investors in my area. Short and sweet and simple, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first thing you should do. Second thing that you should do is we all have a database that we have built. Now, maybe you haven't built it very well. Maybe the building model is still, it's on, people's business cards are in a shoebox tucked under your bed or in the closet. What you want to do, though, is as you go out networking, we're all going out to meetup groups or raid clubs. Those are things you should do. I'm just putting it down there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on effective networking. Maybe we'll talk about later episode. But right now, going and networking, if you can, if you're in a spot that you can get out where you're not masked up with 3 masks and a gas mask, go network with people. Go network with people. There's expos, conventions, things like that. If you're going or have gone to in the past, we've all collected that little 2-inch by 3-inch business card. And if you've not taken the contact information, name, address, email, cell, all that stuff, and put that into database of some sort like Excel that you could soon email to, or as I prefer, uploading it to a CRM tool like a Keep, formerly Infusionsoft, or a MailChimp, which is an email service provider. You need to put those contacts into a database. Email is still the #1 marketing tool with a 4,400, 4,300, or maybe a 4,200% ROI if you use it on a regular basis. And still to this day, email is the #1 tool that we use sometimes on a daily basis in connecting with our audience, our database, besides the podcast, stuff like that, but communicating, hey, what's going on? Here's an event, or here's a webinar, or here's something, a deal that we're working on. Email is still one of the most important things. And putting, like I said, Keep.com is doing a great special right now. Our buddy Darren Adams over there has a very, very awesome offer that you wouldn't see on the website. So if you're interested in adding a CRM, reach out to me. I'm glad to make the introduction and give you the link for the special discount he put together for our clients. MailChimp is a great one. It's pretty expensive too, but you got to start contacting and getting the word out to your audience. And you know, people are like, oh, I don't want to market. I'm not going to bother people. Look, as long as you're adding something of value, a comment on an article, news, video, case study, something that's going on, interesting. As long as you're adding value, people are not going to be upset that you email them. Now, the mass emails are great because if you send it out through a Keep or a MailChimp, you can see who opened, see what they clicked on. You can see their interest rates. You can even see if they unsubscribed, which is a good thing. If they unsubscribe off your list, that means you're not wasting time with it anymore. But people will never know what you're up to and what you're doing. And I'm a big believer that everybody's a buyer, a seller, and a funding source. Okay? Out there, you have to keep that in mind. Everybody's a buyer, a seller, or a funding source. Plenty of people have lazy assets sitting on the sideline, not making anything that they want to put to work. Old 401ks, old IRAs, making nothing. They would rather get something, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12% of their money that you could possibly use and leverage their funds to take down some deals and make it a win-win. That's another episode for later on. But anyway, getting started, and that's why I say you're really not an investor until you start marketing on a regular basis. And that's what I'm saying. Easy things on LinkedIn to get your audience to start paying attention is posting articles, adding 2 or 3 lines of what an article is all about. Okay. You can find plenty of articles on DS News or housingwire.com or Yahoo or Google or whatever, Forbes, whatever. Just start sharing articles a little bit at a time. Brian Ellis out of Georgia, buddy of mine, he for years sent one email out every Friday with 5 articles attached, 3 to 5 articles, a small paragraph on each one. And over time, it built him a 100,000 person database. Now, you don't need 100,000 people on your database. Look, if you got 20, add value to those 20. All you need is 1 to start off with. 1 is greater than none, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why I'll even say that about videos or posts or social media. If one person sees your post, your video, your article, or your opinion, it's growing in the right direction. Okay. Now, many of us want us to go viral. Let's go viral. I want to go viral. Well, viral, look, you don't want your post to go COVID. Okay. You want it to grow naturally. And yes, some things will have a better hit. It'll be more, and you'll get better at how you post and what you say as you do it. You can't expect to become Superman overnight when you can't even get out of bed in the morning with things. Okay. So start posting a little bit. Articles are the easiest way to start priming the pump of what you got going on. And then we always like to split it up into simple things, very simple things. Like I say, sending out an email once a week to your audience is the bare minimum, not once a month. 80% of sales are made after the fifth contact. We all know this, okay? 80% of sales are come after the fifth contact. If you want your audience, whether it's on social media, LinkedIn, your email, to pay attention, you need to get in a habit of posting. If you only send out an email once a month, you're really not having any impact whatsoever. All right. They'll forget about you by the time you roll out. But once a week, that's about as much. Now, I wouldn't do daily right off the bat unless you have something that's going on. I wouldn't start it off daily. No. Start off once a week. Sunday nights are really good. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are great follow-up, or another days of the week that have high open rates. But just start sending something out. Hey, everybody, I'm Scott Carson, or I'm Stephanie Goodman, or I'm Cody Cox, or many of you guys know that I've been an active blank for 20 years, but maybe you didn't know that I've also been an active investor for the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm excited. Over the last 5 years, I've had some really great deals take place, and we see a lot of opportunity coming up in the next 12, 24, 36 months. I would just want to keep you abreast of what's going on, of our journey, the highs, the lows, everything that's going on. I'll send you an email once a week. If you like it, great. If you don't, you can unsubscribe at any time. But I'm looking for my friends, family, and colleagues just to hold me accountable to my journey. Something simple like that, less than 20 lines of text, send it out. Send that once a week, send it out. You talk an article in there and then something you got going on. Don't try to get diarrhea of the mouth in your email, all right? Share one article, share one little thing about what's going on that week, whether it's a deal that you did, a past deal, a holiday is the easiest thing, or something personal, or a deal that you're doing looking to take down in the near future. Get in that habit once a week. I like Sunday night. Sunday night promotes our Monday night Note Night in America, which is our #1 kind of community event every Monday night with people coming together. So we like Sunday night at 7 Central. You may have a list that's more, if you're California based, most of you're listening to California, you may want to send it out 7 o'clock California time, which would be 9 o'clock. So the beautiful thing is just get in a habit of starting to share a little bit. You'll get better over time. You'll build those marketing muscles up and start getting that communication going, that people start looking for your emails. It's always funny. If I don't send an email on Sunday night, people, I'll usually get a few, are you okay? I didn't see my email. Where's the link for Monday? I'm like, it's the same link, notenightinamerica.com for Monday night. Never changes, okay? But the thing is, people will start following you. People will start keeping up with it. And you're not competing against me. You're not competing against Bill McCarro or Eddie Speed or Donna Bauer. You're competing really against yourself, because it's you're doing deals for. It's for your portfolio. And you're really competing as I think Matthew McConaughey said it best when he got his Emmy Award. He was wanting to really kind of compete with himself, or make his tenure from now self-proud. I may have that off a little bit, but he was holding himself accountable. He wanted to keep growing and getting better and getting better. And if you do that over time, every week you do it, you'll get a little bit better. Every month you get a bit better. And sooner or later you look back 5, 6, 7 weeks from now, that's a starting point. That's less than 2 months, really. You're going to see that, oh, I got better at this. My emails are getting better. My marketing is evolving and going forth and doing well. So you got to send an email out once a week. You got to communicate with your audience, your network, at least once a week. And maybe you do film a short couple videos on YouTube or Facebook Live or something like that you share on who you are and what your focus is and what you're doing, what your why is, or your markets. There's a whole variety of things that you can share. If you ever fixed or flipped a property or rented or sold or whatever, any type of investment, that's something to talk about your experience. You can talk about your vendors. There's a whole variety of things that you can do as getting started, just to share what's going on and educate your audience on what you're doing and how you're adding value to their lives by sharing what you're doing and the opportunities that are available to you. Okay. So let's go back so far. So talk about spending time on LinkedIn and automating with Octopus CRM anytime during the day. Okay. Or sending invites out yourself at night. That's fine. Or as you have available. Email. Well, the beautiful thing about having a CRM tool is that you can write it at any time and pre-schedule it to go out at a later date. So usually for me to send an email out Sunday night, I also will follow up with an email like at noon on Monday to those that didn't open the email Sunday night. I also send an email out an hour before, and then I try to get an email out by Friday at 2:30. I don't want to send it out anything after 3 because the open rates drop off dramatically on Friday evening. Everybody's having fun, right? Or head home. But I'll often write all those emails at once on either Thursday afternoon or Friday, and I'll just schedule them. I'll change the title a little bit, leave most of the nuts and bolts inside the body good, and just change the title to And I like to try to personalize it. Hello, first name, you know what I mean? So that people, it actually does well going through spam filters. But, sending those out, you can see who clicked on things. You can see your open rates. You can see your unsubscribes. You can see the emails that bounce back. That's the important thing. And every investor should be doing this, not just note investors, every real estate investor out there. The more that you share, the more that you're going to see success happen to you sooner, because people, if you want to read a good book about people and how to communicate with people and how to get the word out, read Tribes by Seth Godin. We're all a part of different tribes, ladies and gentlemen. Friends, family, coworkers, kids, families, neighbors, church, community organizations. We all have a variety of tribes, and everybody's looking for leadership. Why can't it be you that leads? Okay. And we all have got tribes on social media, Facebook, Clubhouse, TikTok, whatever it might be too there too. We're not going to get into those things, but sharing what you've got going on is a very valuable thing for you to do on a regular basis. And you got to realize you're really not in the real estate space these days. You're in the media and the marketing space. And LinkedIn, #1 social media spot for us. Sharing on a regular basis. You can share a short video up to 10 minutes on there too. Email is the next biggest thing for us. And then the third thing is the use of video. And everything these days has video, from Twitter to Instagram. We talked about LinkedIn's brought it on there. Video in your email, video all across the board. I mean, we all know that YouTube is the #2 search engine owned by the #1 search engine. And if you use YouTube videos or video that you upload to YouTube, you're going to see a higher engagement and your videos pop up higher organically versus the paid ads that, fill up the first half of the front page on Google searches. Usually anything below that, you'll see is videos that does well on page 1, page 2 of Google. So you might as well utilize those strengths. Now, Scott, where should I post it? Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Well, you're overwhelmed because you're like, what should I talk about? Here's the best way for you to do. And this is what I do on a regular basis and recommend our students do, is take a spreadsheet or a piece of paper and just do a brain dump. What's a brain dump? That's like just jotting down all sorts of different topics you want to talk about, to things that are important to you, to little things. These videos don't need to be long. They can be short, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour long if you feel like talking that much. But initially, I would start your videos off less than 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, talking about one topic, one nugget, one thing of the day, your message of the day, the nugget of the day, whatever it might be. Heck, you could do a deal of the day if you've got a bunch of experience. But start sharing that places. Now, we share our videos. As I'm recording this, we're doing a Facebook Live. We're using Zoom to record this, and we're live streaming this to Facebook Live. If you're on Facebook, give me a thumbs up or a hi or a hey in the comments there. We will take the recording and upload it to YouTube. We'll do a little bit of editing to it, not much. Put some intro, outro, and a logo in the bottom corner, and upload it to YouTube. Now, Facebook videos, if you go live on Facebook, honestly, Facebook video only really lasts around 24 to 48 hours at the most, primarily 24 hours, because it's like anything else. Our videos get buried in our feeds. And I rarely have anybody that goes to my Facebook profile and binges the videos that are on there. Most of the time they go to YouTube and they binge watch a lot of videos on YouTube. And that's where I would go. Besides uploading and sharing a video to Facebook, you do it live there. If you're doing it through Zoom or some other type of video service, you can record it and then download it, and then I'll re-upload it to YouTube. You do have the opportunity to go of a Facebook Live and then download that video straight from Facebook. It just takes forever. Facebook takes forever to download a video. I like recording via Zoom and hitting the live stream button to Facebook and then just downloading the Zoom video and uploading that to YouTube, because it uploads faster and it's a little bit more quality content video-wise coming straight from Zoom, making sure you're obviously provide that you're in a good audio, good microphone, good light, and good internet is important. Whether you're hardwired in on your Wi-Fi, you want to make sure you're in good internet recording video. So another thing that you want to do as well is when you upload video, it's just not about uploading the video to YouTube and say, see you later, okay? You have the availability. YouTube really does a great job with analytics of showing you when people are on your YouTube channel. And we found that most people aren't on YouTube early in the morning, usually at noon, 1, 2, or 6 o'clock at night. That's what we see is usually noon, 11, noon, Wednesday, Thursday, it's usually 6 o'clock, and then like 3 o'clock on Friday. So I don't just upload the video replay and let it go live, I always set it up as a premiere so that it goes live at my predetermined time. So like with our Note Night in America going out live, and we'll live streaming on YouTube a lot of time, or if YouTube's acting up or Zoom's acting up, we'll upload the video to YouTube and have it go live at noon on Tuesday. It's usually when it goes live anyway, noon on Tuesday, noon the next day. But we do that to schedule it that way so it goes live as a premiere, because then it shows as a premiere. Our YouTube followers will watch it a lot of times. But we take it another step further. Remember, we talked about marketing. What's our number one return on investment for marketing? Email. So we send an email blast out to our audience who have registered for our Note Night in America webinars over the last couple of years. And they get an email saying, it goes out roughly at the same time, about right at noon, our time, say, hey, check out the replay. It's going live now. And so we get a big boost of views on YouTube for people clicking over to watch the live video that's being replayed on YouTube. You want to make sure you have a good description on your YouTube channel as far as keywords that will help you with organic traffic. Many investors and entrepreneurs don't even have their channel keywords picked out. And that helps identify. YouTube wants to send you views. All right. So YouTube videos, make sure you've got your keywords for your channel. And then in the description of the actual video, make sure it's a good description, not anything fancy, but try to have it keyword, whatever main keyword that you're looking to have the video be viewed for. Make sure that's in your title, description. You want to put one URL, one link into your description. And then you go down and put the more keywords for that specific video. Location and date is also important too, if it's to it. But then start creating playlists. If you're going to do a nugget of the day, do a nugget of the day playlist. Like we have a Note Night in America playlist. We have the Note Close Show podcast playlist, and then other things like Note Camp and other things we release too. But get in the habit of releasing. With all the video that I've done over the last 13 years, when I look at the number of videos on there and then divide that by the number of weeks in the time frame we start upload, it literally averages out to 1 to 2 videos per week. Now, there are times, like with Note Camp, where I'll record 22 videos in a 4-day period, and I'll market those out afterwards, 1 a day or 2 a day afterwards. But that's what it comes down to. You get in that habit of a weekly video. Hey, what's going on this week with my life? You know, our buddy Cody Cox was doing his Friday strolls where he was filming from his smartphone. I think he was uploading them to YouTube. He better have. But he was doing it from a Facebook Live from his smartphone, talking while he strolled during his afternoon break, sharing about what's going on in the market, what's going on in his life, what's going on in his business and stuff like that. It's a valuable thing. He built a good following for it. We've seen other students that are using Sunday night to send out stuff where they have a video included in that goes live when they email it out, because it's just uploaded to YouTube instead to go live when that email goes out. So those are really the basic things. And I'm not just saying this for Note Investors. This is all really marketing. You're going to do anything, that should be your foundation. LinkedIn, if you're doing any type of B2B or C2C, LinkedIn, posting there on a regular basis, connecting with people, your ideal clients, your ideal avatar on there. And you could even, if you have a video that you're doing live, or you did a video a day or two, well, hey, check out my recent video on this case study. Put that in your connections. Put that, if your avatar, the person you're connecting with on LinkedIn, would find value in your episode, your video, or your newsletter or article, do that. It's a great way to organically grow and add value to people's lives. Okay. That's a good thing to do. But once again, LinkedIn, okay. And then you're trying to collect emails. You may want to create you a list or an opt-in form off of MailChimp or Keep that you can post across social media, post across LinkedIn. Hey, if you'd like to opt into my email list, I'll be glad to send stuff to you. Or as you are taking your business cards and scanning them and seeing who's there, send them an email. Hey, I've got a newsletter. Love to connect with you. We met at, the Noteworthy Investor Summit in Vegas 8 years ago. Don't know if you're still in the business. Or, hey, we met at the local RIA last week or a month ago. Are you still doing stuff? Or, hey, we met at BNI.com. Are you still doing stuff? So just start sharing there. That's one of the biggest things, because like I said, everybody's a buyer, a seller, and a funding source. The last thing you want to do is come across a deal and not have any money or anybody ready to rock and roll, or your marketing ready to market that deal. And that's why LinkedIn, your email, and then also video is going to set the foundation. It's the tripod of marketing success, as I like to say, to help you build those assets, start building where you're going to be able to connect with the most amount of people. Video on YouTube, your email is going to have the biggest thing, but then also on LinkedIn, which is basically almost an open source way for you to connect with the right people. Now, you can also go to other things like Bigger Pockets and Connected Investor or Craigslist or other things. Those things will have hit and misses. And same thing with like Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. A lot of times you'll just see people posting there. They don't see a lot of interaction, but your Facebook page posting there, sure, why not? Easy to do, but posting to LinkedIn, something interesting, video, and then your email. Those are the three things that you need to do the most as an investor to get started. If you're not doing those things, you're going to run into issues where I'm not finding deals. Why are you not finding deals? Because you're not marketing out on LinkedIn to asset managers. You're not sending an email blast to the asset manager list that you've pulled. Okay. People don't know who the heck you are. All right. That's the biggest thing. Yes. Don't get me wrong. Looking at deals, breaking down assets, that's the sexy. Woo! I'm looking at a portfolio of 523 notes. Great. But it literally comes down to the analogy. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there, did anybody really hear it? Did it really fall? If you're looking at deals, but you have nobody to market out to either fund your deals or to sell the deals to, or to even to reach out to see if they've got deals that they can sell you, you're really not doing anything. You're pretending and not doing anything. Now, if you've got all your own money and you're wealthy and you've got enough funds for that stuff, that's a different story. If this is a hobby, like I only want to do a little bit of my own funds, that's your opinion. That's totally okay with you. But most people that I know want to do bigger things. They don't want to settle for the status quo. They want to keep moving forward, getting better, closing more deals, making more money, and taking that step-by-step path to financial security or financial greatness, whatever it might be. And you got to market. McDonald's didn't sell 1 billion burgers by not marketing. All right. You got to market. And that's really the thing that separates investors, true investors, successful investors from the pretenders. Pretenders don't really do. They might do it something once and then give up on it. The investors realize that they're investing in their long-term future. They're investing in their long-term success. They're investing by putting the marketing in on a daily basis or a weekly basis at a pure minimum, or as they have time around their side hustle. Look, you've all probably watched Shark Tank and all who know who Damon John is, founder of Fubu. And I couldn't think of a better source. He waited tables at Red Lobster for 8 years. Heck, I waited tables at Red Lobster with my first waiting table job in college. And he would wait tables, pull a double, and then come home after hours. And when Red Lobster closes at 10, it doesn't mean you're getting out at 10. It means you're getting home at 11, 12. And he's working from 12 to 4, 12 to 3, 12 to 5, sleeping in from 5 to 10 because he can go in it at lunch, but putting in those 4 to 5 hours every night for 8 years to help him with Fubu. That's commitment. And you have to do that. He was doing the things to grow his business, build his product, his market stuff to find the success. And he kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. That's what you all have to, we have to do it. It's a day in, day out grind. And there's going to be days that you're like, I don't want to do crap today. Shit, I felt like that yesterday. I was tired, worn out. I don't know if I got too much sun or just like in case of the Mondays. Okay. But the thing that kept me going, that got me excited again was literally, look, I got a webinar on Monday night I need to show up for. I got 170 people that are registered for it. I need to show up for. Okay. And I want to apologize to all of you guys that I haven't been showing up for the podcast as much as I should be. Yeah, I've got some great interviews and done some stuff, but I have not been as focused and deliberate in my content and information sharing out there. And I want to thank you all for those that follow and download and reach out. We hear a lot of great stuff from you guys. And I'm very, very passionate and want to serve you guys. And just want to say, hey, get ready. I'm locked, cocked, and ready to rock here over the next few months as we get ready to rock and roll. And as we roll into our 4th year as a podcast and our 12th year, or actually our 14th year as a note investor. So if you love what we share, feel free to hit the share button, whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, or you're listening to this on podcast. Share it with one person out there and go out and be magical. Go out, take some action, everybody, and we'll see you all at the top. Thanks for listening.